We are already in a society where the idea of men being breadwinners is not because men can't.
Don't bring that up, dude.
Oh, don't bring it up? Cool.
I don't like that. I don't like that argument.
What I don't understand
Down the middle, that's it.
You make this look wrong.
Alright, so this is an Am I the Asshole? And we've kind of talked about this topic before, but this is a very, very recent one, and it got a lot of traction and attention. And we also have Jimmy eating over here, and he's always giving great relationship advice and things like that, especially on how to flirt. So we're gonna bring a topic like this back into the game, all right? This is a Am I the Asshole for not wanting to split expenses proportional to income? She says, I live with my boyfriend in a flat he owns, fully paid off. His father gave it to him. That's an important detail. The whole building was built 6 years ago and it's in a very popular area. I pay my boyfriend half of the market rate rent, which we update every year by looking how much the flats are being rented out in the building complex, which is a lot of money, but I agreed to it. Other than this, we did everything else 50-50 in the past. So again, he didn't buy his house, his dad gave it to him, it's fully paid off, but she still pays 50%.
Why?
Oh, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Wait, so there's no mortgage that he has to pay or anything, but she's paying 50%.
It's a flat he owns, yeah.
They're the UK for sure, huh?
Yeah.
So he basically like estimated himself.
She's looking at market rate. She's looking at market rate based off of the like neighborhood.
She's trying to be fair.
Yeah, she's being fair and
Is it one of those where he never asked, she's just paying, or he asked and she's paying?
Ooh, it didn't say specifically on that detail.
Yeah, but that sounds weird.
Because if it's he never asked, if he never asked and she's just paying, then she just wants to be like a boss bitch, and I get that too. But if he's asking, then he's a F word.
How?
Okay.
She's a cigarette, as the UK.
She says again, I pay my boyfriend half of the market rate rent, which we update every year by looking how much the flats are being rented out for in the building complex, which is a lot of money, but I agreed to it. So maybe they had a joint conversation about it in some way.
That just sounds so weird to me.
It's weird that she's paying him for something he was given.
And we're not even at the Am I the Asshole part.
Okay, keep going.
She says, I got a new job with a significant pay increase. And now my boyfriend says we should start splitting expenses proportional to income because that's fair.
Whoa.
Wait, what? What kind of communist bullshit is that?
Yeah, that's lame.
Yo, if this fucking cup of coffee costs $2, but you make 100 grand, I make 50 grand, does that mean I pay like 50 cents and you pay 150?
That's what he's implying.
That's fucking bullshit, dude.
That's a lot of math, too.
He's like, when I fucking bust nuts in your pussy, you make more, so you pay for the condom.
Pay for the condom?
Yeah.
Proportional to income.
Yeah.
Nah, that's weird.
She says, I told him I don't think it's fair that I should start paying for more just because I got a new job and nothing else changed. I already pay him rent, enough rent that would get me a same size flat a few streets away, so it's more than fair to him. He made some, in my opinion, very weak arguments and accused me of ripping him off. That's when I told him that under no circumstances we will split expenses proportional to income.
Fuck.
She says, now that I've calmed down a bit, I'm worried whether or not I'm wrong, especially since my best friend told me that this is how they do it with her boyfriend too, and my boyfriend owning the flat is irrelevant.
They both like pussies, is what they like. Get out of there.
They're saying flat.
Doesn't say location yet, but
out of there, dude.
Wait, but she's saying that it's common because her friend does the same shit too.
Well, that's sample size of one person.
It's definitely not common.
Well, okay, I'm pretty sure us being Asian has a little bit of something like to do with it, because I don't really think this is normal even for Asian Americans to think in this light. Even though we're Western-ish, right? Like, I can't get myself to do that.
yeah, I agree. I mean, the thing is, they're like, the hard part is they're like boyfriend and girlfriend.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And that comes with all sorts of, like, where in your relationship are you?
And the minute you start nickel and diming stuff, it kind of puts a wear on the romantic part of it.
Yeah, like whatever happened to just half, dude?
There's a question.
I have a question. So do you think there's a double, so she's the one making more, right? Now she is. Yep. So do you think it's a double standard where it's like if the guy is making more, he's paying the majority of the rent and that's fine?
I think it's weird on either side that there's this fluctuation of like expense exchange.
Yeah.
Versus like, let's just go down the middle. Like if we're both gonna use toilet paper, if someone pays for 100% or just do 50-50.
Yeah.
versus like what's the market value of this? This is way more this year than last year, and you got paid. It's like how much of a spreadsheet do you want to pull out every time you talk about?
And to your point though, I think the double standard isn't in that. I think it comes from women have to bear children and stuff like that. So we are already in a society where the idea of men being breadwinners is not because men can't.
Don't bring that up, dude.
Oh, don't bring it up. Cool.
I don't like that. I don't like that argument.
What I don't understand.
Down the middle. That's it.
You make this look wrong.
The way that he's charging her doesn't even exist in business. So, for example, like if I sell Nick these pairs of sunglasses, right?
I would love to buy those.
Let's say it's $25 for you, Nick, but because Bart makes more, it's actually $45 for him.
That should.
But I'll pay. But Nick can buy it for $25 because he doesn't
Works
make
that way in taxes.
That does work in business with health insurance as well.
But the model's so different, though.
You get more things though.
No. Like for example, even like Covered California, when you put in your income, if you put in a high income, they charge.
That's because you're in California, bro. Move to Vegas, idiot.
Whatever you pay is based on like how much services you get.
Yeah.
So then for me, that's like, if it doesn't even exist outside of your relationship, you're basically doing something that's unorthodox.
I agree with the relationship element of it, but I also see that there are like instances at which if you make more, you pay more, but not in relationship terms. So I understand that. Yeah.
Well, you make more, you pay more. I think that depends on the situation. So for example, let's say like in my situation, I make more, I pay more, but that doesn't devalue her, or I don't expect her to come up. So for example, like let's say Hannah does make money, right? But the value that she brings to the relationship is much more if she helped me out in other things for like maybe domestic work, right? And that might be devalued, but think about it, dollar for dollar, if I decided to hire a maid, if I decided to hire cleaners, wash and fold service, all of the
Someone
things
to jack
that
you off.
Yeah.
basically, if you put
That's
that
expensive.
in dollar amounts,
$1,000 an hour.
so if I put that in dollar amounts, what if it actually equals to be $150,000 a year in services, right? And then, so if I'm expecting her to go out and get like a $80,000 job, it actually makes more sense for her to do the equivalent of $150,000 in domestic services. You know what I mean? So like, to me, I'm
That's
looking
hella
at it
jack-offs.
but but basically,
It's
I'm thinking about the
localized all the
value.
jacking
So if you think about value and value exchange, so like it's not like someone's sitting on their ass all day and saying like fucking take care of me, right? Like, but not everything is about dollar for dollar.
Right.
So like if one person earns less or more, there's other things you can do to bring value into the relationship and balance it out.
Do you expect again, not necessarily your hand, but just like the hypothetical though of a partner to be cognizant that if somebody is more of a breadwinner proportionally, that even though they may not be expected to like contribute more financially, maybe they should contribute more in other like dollar for, is that like an expectation?
I think as a team, whether I'm in a relationship, in a marriage, or relationship in a friendship, or like any of those aspects, right? I think that every member should be trying their best to bring value for each other as a team.
Yeah.
And it's not about dollar value. So for example, we're business partners, right? And we have different strengths as different business partners, but we also have different times in our lives when one of us need help because the other one can't be there. And for me, if it's like me and Bart are business partners and we're thinking about staying in this business for over a decade, so what if year 2, he has something else that's gonna make him really busy and he can't attend to this partnership? That's fine, because in year 3, maybe that might happen to me and he'll step in, right? So there's different exchanges that you just trust your partner to give their full force and to back you up.
But to that point though, in business, there's certain things that maybe Bart can't do. Then you have to hire out somebody else to do.
Yep.
In a relationship, you can't hire somebody else, right?
Can't hire a blowjob, right?
Exactly. My girl doesn't give me a blowjob, I'm gonna get some side pussy and like across town.
True.
Right?
I think the weird part in this is they had an arrangement, and then she starts making more, I think if she wants to contribute more, that's on her. But for him to go, hey, what's in your purse over there? That's the weird part. That's the for me. Like that whole like mindset.
Moving the goalposts a little.
Yeah, that part is weird.
That is moving the goal.
What if again, just hypotheticals for the sake of conversation. So
Especially if he's the one with the upper hand. Like he is like, let's say if he was their arrangement is he's like this struggling actor. He has to work 2 jobs to make ends meet, and he's really trying to like work on his grind. And she's been supporting him. If he needs extra help, I understand that. That's the whole team part, right? Hey, can you pay for more of this? I got to pay for more acting classes. But their goal is let's help build this guy up.
Yeah.
This guy already got a free pad.
Yeah.
He has a free pad, free rent, and he's still peeking into his purse. That's the part that I'm like, what the fuck?
Weird,
That's
dude.
Fucking weird.
That part's weird, yeah.
Yeah.
And on top of that too, is like how much more money is she making than him? To the point.
And
where
does
he
the
has to
money
be
she's
like-
paying for the rent get included in his income?
Yeah.
Because he's being paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
True.
that would be definitely the biggest thing. I think. What if you were to potentially take that fact out? What if I didn't read that part and it was just a matter of like things are 50-50, but then somebody in the relationship, guy or girl, somebody like had a significantly larger pay increase or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
I think
Then you probably have to take into account like team goals, right? Like you.
Yeah, that's different.
I think it depends on your partner's spending habits. So, for example, right, like in most of my relationships, I never had to look at the spending habits and say like that's pretty fucking excessive or weird or whatever. And I've never got that in most cases, right? Like it always came from a concerned place rather than a judgmental place. So I don't know if I can relate in this way, but I think like there are a lot of relationships where they don't openly discuss finance. And this one, it sounds so specific that it's so fucking weird. But I think most people avoid it altogether until it's too late. And then you have couples like this that's like nickel and diming every fucking piece. And then, so it's like, how do you find the middle where this seems like average and moderate and normal? I don't know. Because like, I've been lucky enough to where all of my relationships, I never fought over this shit. Because it was like, you're getting with like-minded people that spend similar.
Lifestyle wise.
Yeah. Because like, let's say you were really into buying luxury shoes and your girl is like not even into that stuff, right? And you have a shared account. And if you're struggling and you're out here buying luxury shoes all day, she's gonna be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? We need to buy groceries. Yeah. But in this case, I just don't hear any struggle of like why he should be saying I need more money. Yeah. What does he need the money for? Like, and I don't know, they're not married. So like
I feel like the way like me and Gio did it in the beginning was like the easiest. Like from day one, there's 3 bank accounts, mine, hers, and then our expense in the middle. Because in the beginning, when we're doing JK, we're struggling hardcore. She's working at Bank of America, so she's like a corporate woman. So she's already making more. And we just put money 50-50 in our expense account that pays for rent, groceries, whatever. And so if she's making more and she wants to ball out, get a Beamer, she can. If she wants to buy a purse, she can. And whatever money I'm making on my own, that's our own. So everything is just in this account that goes 50-50. And if she makes more, she could buy her own toys. And if I make more, I could buy our own toys. And it's been like that since now.
Yeah.
That's how we do it too.
So now we still have that same exact expense account that we both put money in that pays for. Now it's all of our expenses plus Taika stuff because he's 50-50.
So every month it's a percentage or a certain amount.
It's a certain amount. So before when in the beginning it was like $500 each person, and that covers like whatever. And then as our expenses grew, then it was more and more and more.
But you guys also helped each other out in so many ways, like that you're not keeping track of, like how many hours. Also with Gio dedicating to our business that she's helped build.
Yeah.
And she never kept track, right? So this is the nature of like, I think our friendship and relationship and the people we're around is that it's kind of so foreign to me of checking and keeping track. Because we're all building together.
Yeah.
Like you guys came in the other day and you did the podcast on your own because we're trying out a new format. But they didn't go, hey guys, if we do this, can you give us like this much dollars? And
you didn't send them the invoice?
You should have. You should have.
I was actually gonna send you an invoice for turning the lights on because that's electricity.
Oh, that's Cam.
For sure, that's canned.
But definitely,
That's funny, man.
it's because I
it's
think
true, yeah.
I think what the difference might be is just we're all like self-employed, right? So it turns into a different mentality of like just put in work, and some of this might pay off, some
Yeah.
of it might not.
Right.
But
But you
we
never
all
know.
gotta try.
Yeah.
And then so if you're in a relationship with a person that understands that, they see this teamwork as like, let's put in this effort together, let's build this family, let's do this stuff, and who knows, it might work, it might not work, whatever. Because actually Hannah, her friends are telling her like, you haven't signed any paperwork for the business, you've been helping out their business, you've been doing this stuff. What if like all this stuff happens and all of a sudden like you don't see any of those things? And she goes like, oh, well, I'm confident in my own skills to where after this, I can build my own now. I can run a restaurant now. I can do whatever. So I'm like, it also, the skills that she values were all the things that we've built in the experience that we did with building of Jumbi and all this stuff. And then so she's like, maybe it's the difference of people that work a salaried job. Everything is more clear cut because it's easier. If you have a $3,000 a month coming every month, it's so much easier to divvy up that and then like saying, this is your budget, this is whatever. Whereas like people that are building a mom and pop shop, it's like, we don't know if tomorrow it's gonna be $1 million or we're in debt for $1 million. Yeah.
That's true. Like-mindedness, I think, is a key. Like you were saying.
Yeah.
Like it's just a like-mindedness that makes this work, and we're not always nickel and diming each other.
Yeah, they need to break up. They need to break up for sure. They're not like mine.
But I mean, in your situation, right? You have a business with your girl, and then like, how do you break that down? And you live together, and you do, like, does she go, well, actually, you spent 29 days in my apartment this whole month, so like, that's the weird part.
We do the same thing, like you do. Like I have my account, Smack has hers with whatever millions are in there, and then we have our joint. We have our joint account, which is like if there's something we both agree that we want to do, it comes out of that. If there's stuff I want for me, it comes out of mine. If there's stuff she wants for hers, it's very simple that way.
Yeah, like I gotta convince Gio that the guns are for house protection.
So it comes from the joint account?
No, she should pay for that.
Same thing with the Chevelle. I mean, it's for the house.